Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Ryan with Pi Records. I'm here with Craig Cirinelli from House Without Walls Design and Damn This Desert Air. How are you, Craig?
How you doing, Ryan?
Very good.
Thanks for
Let's talk about your design company.
okay.
Who do you primarily work with? Bands and labels? What kind of artwork do you do?
Yeah, so I mean, to answer directly, I work with I guess a wide gamut. However, I do choose to try to focus where like 85% of what I do is based on word of mouth through bands, promoters, definitely a few indie labels keep coming back, thankfully. Word of mouth is king in the underground, is key, I should say, in the underground. And that's the way I promote, really, is just, socially and friends through friends. And it's been a slow build, but years later, it turns into something that I'm never not busy. So I have to be thankful for the community of music, through and through, that is also helps me in the work world.
So not only are you a talented artist, you're quite a busy musician. You want to tell me about some of the bands you're working with right now?
Sure. So the current bands that I guess I would say, if qualifying, current being live, like we'll still play shows. The most prominent is Holler in the Hand, which we do gig regularly when we're not in a stay-at-home order. That band's been around for a little over a year. Assembling, growth, etc. And it's my newest entity. Damn This Desert Air, who you brought up right in the beginning, is a band that's going on about 10 years long. Many releases we have within the post-hardcore to space rock combo community, is where we really feel at home. And great friends, great old friends I've been playing with, sharing stages with in other bands for over 20 years, let's say, and a bunch of us formed a band together 10 years ago. And when that started to slow down, I still wanted to keep up very active with playing live music. So I started multitasking and feeling around and starting other bands at the time. Hidden Cabins was another one, Ryan, that I know
That's
you
a
and I
good
were
one.
talking a little bit ahead of time. Might know from the distro in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I dig that one a lot, and I like LMA. You got quite a few with them.
Yeah, old one. Yeah, that would be like the um where I came out of the formative years. I guess that would be the formative years, where you really kind of found your own within a community, within a scene of musicians in New Jersey, between North and Central Jersey. We've, from Hoboken down to New Brunswick, New Jersey, and then we took some road trips. And that band, I would say, is like that early family element that really came into a focus, and then built on outside of a local punk rock Legion Hall, all ages DIY community. LMA had the you know um, fingers that crept outward into the world more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you working on right now? You have a studio project that you're steadily working on.
Studio project. Yeah, there's another name to throw at you is the World Concave. We do have. It's never been a live band. I actually do enjoy recording and making music with people that aren't even in the close knit bandhood. So I'm which is even extended more within this stay at home order. It seemed to bring up a lot of old friends from various places, um, which we can chat on. But the World Concave, we have two EPs, two singles or video singles, whatever you want to call it, that that there were a bunch of friends, some from old bands. Actually, they were all really from old bands, and formed together just to do a recording project, a studio-based recording project that we wanted to treat as well-rounded as a band. But I guess the main provocateur in the band didn't desire to play live, and that was fine because we all had our other bands anyway, So yeah.
So what for our listeners and viewers, how has the punk rock and DIY spirit influenced exactly how you live your life and what you do?
It's every way, so many ways, since I would say it's carried over definitely into I feel who I am as a being, the treatment of others, consciousness of surroundings and and the DIY aspect of as we were getting at, of even like work from music into art. Obviously my mind kind of works that way. So the communal energy within a DIY scene, the one hand washes the other, the elbow grease. I can't tell you how many shows I've booked for my friends' bands, since my 20s. And I was putting on Legion Hall shows and DIY shows in Rockaway, New Jersey and Denville, New Jersey, for a 2-year span, which then when I became, of age, or I guess it was, early 20s, so I might have been of age, and I was able to also throw shows in bars and whatnot, putting together bills, and everything. And it's really that just because you want to create a scene, just because you want to help that family that you're part of out, that's what you do. And that I think parlays into the artwork and who's helped me back, and sent me jobs and work, and the interconnected family of the DIY underground.
Absolutely. Now, what are you working on right now? Like, are you have plans to do any online shows, or are you looking ahead to the future, as cloudy as that may be?
So for music, the question directly?
Yeah.
Yep. So I sing. So I'm primarily vocals. I own guitars. I dabble. 20 plus years of trying shows me my hands don't work in the way of a guitarist should or would, and my desire never had me put in the time that my inner urge to sing has. So I decided at a certain point, because I did try to play guitar and bass in LMA, in a very early incarnation of LMA. I actually held the guitar in my hand and a bass and played some venues that way, and maybe felt a little bit out of my skin that way, and I felt like it was taking away of how I wanted to deliver vocals, the headspace that I wanted to be in and escape from while in the moment. Didn't connect with me like some people maybe are natural at just guitar. Some are natural at just guitar and an instrument. My body told me, this is what you want, go for the vocal and bond up with others that are fast forward with their own instrument. With that said, so that was a long way of saying I'm not really an online Zoom player or going live player because of that reason. I would need to have the applications that minimum 2 of us can do it from home to home, and so that's what it seems like a lot of them, a lot of these online sessions are singles, duos that are living together. There are those more professional apps that let you to bond it together, whether it's recorded live and then put together to one audio track, or it's pure live. Not really sure. I don't know if you know.
There's a cool app called BandLab that my band is demoing right now. We're sharing songs. So
do you find latency? Is there latency with that?
Well, we're not doing it live,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I mean, the guitar sound I got was pretty decent. I just put my phone right up to the speaker and like
Right.
blast into that, and then it's kind of like Facebook for music. Like you just
So you can songwrite together, but you're not actually trying to jam in real time. Is that what it is?
yeah.
Or some
Yep.
or okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I could like lay two tracks down on one app on one file, and then
Okay.
my buddy in Lancaster can add his guitar track, and my other guy can add his bass track, and then we could get a demo ready for our drummer who's in
All at
Seattle.
the same so all, as you're playing in motion, like I mean you're playing in the same time, like you can get that in one motion, or do you have to record the track and send it over?
Yeah, yeah, we gotta
Okay.
record the track and send it over, and then once the drums are done, we'll go into the studio. The
Yep.
three of us, our drummers in Seattle, so uh,
Okay.
but
So I was gonna say I've existed, with the some of these bands demoing some new songs with the Holler in the Hand guys, with the Damn This Desert Air guys, and some side collaborate. Actually, there was 2 World Concave songs that came out of nowhere from Eric, the guitar player there, and then there's some side collaborations as our months in, not being able to get together happened. Through basically GarageBand on my end, they record either in their iPhone. Some have I don't want to say it could be Pro Tools, it could be Logic, and they're recording some tracks in there, sending over. I'll get them, import them, send it, and pass it around type
yeah,
situation. Yeah.
yeah,
So thankfully that creative process, like, wow, what a world that we can do that versus 20 years
yeah,
ago, right? Still create art. And like you said, once you want to lay it down solid, you go to a studio or pass it
yeah,
off to someone that can actually mix it and enhance it really well.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Um, yeah.
great.
So
What's your band, by the way? What's
they're
your band?
it's called Down Division. It's a
Hey,
it's pretty much like a speedy punk rock band.
I want
Um,
to say now I've seen the logo from you sharing. I didn't know it was your own band.
yeah,
Because you
yeah,
because you help out, promote a lot of bands. You're always
yeah.
putting them out there. So I didn't know actually that was yours, or.
Yeah, maybe I should do a better job of making that clear. But Larry Parker from River Monster Records put out our back catalog
Okay.
from the '90s, and then
Okay.
we just decided to get together and write new songs.
So he kind of compiled it onto one album's worth, or
No. We put
that
out all the albums as they were.
as they
Before.
were. Okay.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
digitally. But uh,
Okay.
talking to David and a couple of people about maybe doing something in the future. You never know.
Okay.
But back to you. I want to hear about where people can find you. How can they get in contact with you?
Right here in this little window right here. Go ahead.
uh,
What were
so
you saying?
do you have a web address, or is it just Facebook that you primarily showcase your artwork on?
Um, so I'm the mechanic that didn't fix his own car. So yes, Facebook is really the only place I show the art. I do have housewithoutwalls.com. So the design company, I think you said it before, but it's House Without Walls. So I do have housewithoutwalls.com, but it's just a redirect, parked redirect to the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I want to enlist, a friend that maybe is a web programmer to make a nice site. I've said that for years. I
Yeah.
also have in my mind, built simple websites for myself because I was never a web designer.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, because I wasn't a coder. I'm not a coder.
Yeah.
I'm all on the art end. I'm all in Photoshop and InDesign and Adobe Illustrator and I never wanted to be a programmer. So since technology is caught up have our web world be easy to build as a self-starter, I've built some self-starter websites where it is just uploading graphics, moving stuff around instead of having to write out the code and the X and Y grid and stuff like that. So I was like, I got to do that. When I'm not busy, I'm going to get to that. I'll do that. And 2020 still haven't done just that.
That's because you're too busy making good music.
Well, thank you. Thanks. Or just laziness that I haven't wanted to jump over that. Because it's not like I haven't had some dead spaces where I'm not doing someone else's album cover or not working on, someone's logo or sure, they have. But then at that time, sometimes you're like, okay, here's a break. Obviously you're keeping up, like all of us, with a schedule with your kids, with your family or your community or something. And so that those breaks of when you're doing it is good. And you come back, all right, now I got another official job to do, So you never really take on that, what I feel like is going to be an inundating job of starting from scratch of something like to make the web home base of something that's been, I don't know, years in the making, and like, where do you start to build and keep it, and feel thorough with it? There's got to be a point. Maybe I need to barter with a friend one day to say, like, you're, I'll do your next, maybe it'll be a band friend. Like, I'll do your next, album design or something if you build me an easy to use website. Maybe I need to do something like that.
There's a company called Squarespace that has an app where you can build websites. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a kind of convoluted web address it gives you, but it's easy to build on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you let me just ask, Pi Records, which I know exists, I think primarily on Discogs, or at least that's what you've mentioned to me, for your promoting. Did you ever do one for your own, or have one built?
I was thinking about it, but like to have a centralized location, because we have YouTube, we have Discogs, we have Facebook and eBay. I like a central place to put it, but I don't have the patience to build a website or even sit there with Squarespace and do that, just because it seems to be working right now just to have everything kind of out in the ether the way it is.
Yep. And I think it's a similar thing where I'm like, well, what I'm doing seems to be working. I always, I have a friend that's mentioned, why don't you go on I'm gonna space it out right now. What's the LinkedIn, the business networking site? Why don't you put your self on LinkedIn? Even as I was like, I was like, I just don't feel like I'm in that world, even though it's completely like broad and has all different kinds of businesses. So design, I'm sure, is just as applicable, but I've actually never went in there. Aside from when, you remember years ago when you used to get all of the emails like so-and-so wants you to join their LinkedIn, and then it kept on recurring. If you don't sign up, it kept on recurring. I was like, please stop sending me those. I'm sure they were automatic, but thankfully I don't, haven't seen those in years. But I guess what I was I just felt like, I have enough going with the Facebook stuff and everything. Sure, you'd like to get maybe some bigger projects. Like, to me, I love the in-depth projects of album covers. It's like a multi-panel cover puzzle. It's like having everything tie in together from the panel work to the disc or the LP, coordinating everything. It's so fun. It takes days. It does take days if you're not, if you're not doing something, very simple, stark, which could be just as effective. But usually just getting into nitty-gritty aligning, like being really meticulous about distance from edges and the color tone of this and that. It takes longer than you think. But I love those kind of projects.
Absolutely.
Would I be able to focus more on being selective of projects? Maybe, if I had more options to actually like turn people down. Like, I got enough going, I don't need that. But I don't usually do that. I usually take everybody's like, thank you for contacting me. Sure, I'd love to. I'll add it to my list, and I'll let you know as soon as I can get to it. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, I'm going to let you go, but I wanted to thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us out of your busy schedule. I know you got a lot going on, and I want to remind everybody to check out House Out Without Walls and Danvers Desert Air, and the many other projects Craig Cirinelli has going on, whether it be with Engineer Records or his own live acts or studio acts. Thank you very much, Craig.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you.